Welcome to the HohO Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
We are broadcasting live from the Cottage Studio, so welcome to the HohO Show. And as always, I am your host, HoHo. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Spreaker. Welcome, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. How y'all's doing? Hope you guys are doing good. I really do. So, yeah. So I'm joined in studio today by Mr. Ray. How you doing today, sir?
Good.
Awesome, awesome. First of all, guys, I gotta apologize. Gotta apologize to you guys because last week kind of the audio on, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope kind of sucked. Like horribly so. I thought it was just a stream. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was a stream. And hello, Gavin over there in YouTube land. Good to see you. And thank you. You said, love the starting music. Rock on. So, yeah. Well, what happened was Spreaker had an update. And, normally whenever I get a Spreaker update, I update my Stream Deck, shut everything down, bring everything back up again. And that's just the way I've always done it. No particular reason. It made sense to me. Last week I was in a hurry. I didn't do that. I didn't shut everything down and then bring it back up again. So needless to say, Spreaker didn't connect with OBS the way it was supposed to. So that kind of, it sucked. So
yeah. But
at least Spreaker audio was perfect. It was good. So, there was that. So, yeah. So we've got just some great stuff to talk about tonight. We really do. It's going to be a good time. And honestly, it's like I had said that we're going to start off with, the wonderful state of Chaz. The nice stuff that's going on in Seattle, Washington. Maybe we should start there. Should we start there?
Sure.
Why not? Let's just go ahead and start there. So, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware of what's going on over there in Seattle. But we have, just to be blunt and honest about it, we have a domestic terrorist group that has seized control of like 6, 8, 7 city blocks.
Something like that, yeah.
Over in Seattle, Washington. They're doing, ID checks. They're doing all kinds of things, as part of controlling that area. There is extortion going on. Businesses being extorted for, security. They have to pay a fee to these, terrorists in order to operate where they're, in order to operate there and, families and everything else. There's even been reports of rape from these people and,
right.
And the cops are refusing to come in. Well, no, I gotta, that's not right. That's not right. The cops are wanting to go in and put in a little bit of law and order, but the mayor is not letting them do that. Like at all, making them stand down.
They ordered them to vacate their police precinct there as well.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. And so the thing that's actually been coming up is the whole Insurrection Act of 1807. Okay? Now, just to give you guys a little bit of history lesson, the last time this was used was May 1st of 1992, the Los Angeles riots. Okay, this happened during, the whole Rodney King fiasco,
right.
Police brutality there. This was also during, just in case you guys didn't remember this was also during the O.J. Simpson trial, which is actually the whole reason why O.J. Simpson got off on that double homicide was because, our city just ain't going to be able to handle a guilty verdict on this. And OJ's defense was, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Wow.
That's what it was, man. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the glove didn't fit. The glove wasn't made to fit. It was made to be small and then kind of grow.
Moving on.
Moving on. But that was the last time this Insurrection Act was actually used. It was used by George H.W. Bush. And I actually do know somebody that was there. Like, the riot started on a Friday. And he, being a former Marine, was there Saturday to squash it. Okay? That was the last time it was used. And this was something that, Ray had sent to me. I was actually wrong on when I thought this whole thing came about. It actually came about back in, 1808, actually. 1808 was the first time it was used during the Embargo Act violations. It was used by Thomas Jefferson. It was used by Andrew Jackson, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, forgot about that guy, Grover Cleveland, Woodrow Wilson, FDR, Dwight D. Eisenhower, JFK, LBJ, and George H.W. Just in case you guys aren't aware of this, how many political parties were represented in there? Just Republicans, right?
No.
No?
No. Both of them, I think.
Holy cow. Oh, yeah, that's right. JFK and LBJ, they're both Democrats, aren't they?
Well, JFK back then was a Democrat. I'm not sure he'd stay with the party today.
Well, that's pretty true.
That's another subject.
That's kind of like Ronald Reagan. I mean, he started off being a Democrat until it was like he found out what the Democrats were all about. And also, just so you know, too, JFK used it. Now, this is actually kind of funny. JFK used the Insurrection Act 3 times. None of the times he used it was it requested by the state. It was Mississippi, Alabama, and Alabama. Yes. LBJ used it 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's good because I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to. Never mind.
Well,
anyway,
as long as you don't take your shoes off and you're.
Well, I got 5 on this hand. I got 5 on that one. You put them both together. Well, you just got 2 hands with 5. But anyway, he used it 4 times, and it was requested by the state each time. But the point is, this is something, the Insurrection Act was used. It has been used by multiple presidents, multiple times, because even George H.W. Bush used it twice, 1989 and 1992. So, yeah, I mean, this isn't anything new. This has been done. Okay, granted, it's not been done like a whole buttload of times. It's not like every president has used it. I know there's a lot of times on here, though.
Right.
There's quite a few on here.
Yeah.
And hello, Factor, over there in Facebook land. How's the audio sound? Does it sound good this time? Sound good? Better? Yeah? That's good. I'm not going back and listening to this. I don't care.
So bottom line is, if Trump wanted to do this, they can't really claim, oh, he's a dictator, he's a fascist, he's whatever label, fill in the blank, because he's doing it, or it's those nasty Republicans or whatever, because both parties, multiple presidents, the whole 9 yards have done this, used it, case history. I don't want to hear about it if he does. Plain and simple. I don't want to hear Orange Man bad because he done this. Doesn't mean crap to me.
Right. And you're right, and that's the thing. And we've talked about this, before we started the show, talked about this a little bit. It was like, because you asked me, do I think he should do it?
Right.
And I got to be honest with you guys. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, I don't know how it breaks down, but I'm kind of 2 minds on it. On one hand, he is the president. He is the head of the executive branch. His job is law and order. So in a matter of speaking, it's like, look, if the governors are going to fail the people, if the mayors are going to fail the people, well, somebody's got to stand up for the people that are there. Somebody's got to stand up, stand in the void where they have failed to act. Okay, they have failed to send the police in there. They have failed to send the National Guard in there. It's up to the president to do something, otherwise nothing's going to happen.
And that's a provision right in that act too. It clearly states that if local government or state government fails to act, the president does have that right to do it. I mean, it clearly states it. It's not Trump's big idea on whether or not he wants to use it. It's labeled in there.
Yeah. I mean, he has full right, and some would even say he has the responsibility to do it.
Right.
You know? But I'm also of the mind of, you know what? This is a Democrat city. These people voted their representation in. They voted for the laws. They voted all this crap. They voted for all this to happen themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't feel sorry for them. In a matter of speaking, I can't say as if I do. I mean, yeah, it's a bad situation because you do have people in there that are suffering horribly at the hands of the People's Republic of Chess.
Right. And not all people who voted might not have voted for that crap either. You know, they just
right.
didn't have the majority.
Right.
So, you know, you got to take those people into consideration too.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, yeah. But, you know, my mindset is, excuse me, you know, you guys voted for this. Y'all's wanted this. This is how Washington has been for a very long time. Probably 40, 50 years. It's been like this, being run and operated by Democrats. Mm-hmm. And exactly, Matt, you reap what you sow. And that's where I'm going with this. You know, you've made your bed, now sleep in it. You know, if they're not going to act, then maybe you guys should elect different representation. If you want something to change, then maybe you should change first how you vote.
Right.
You know, and I really do hope that the Democrats, you know, not the politicians, but I really do hope that the members of the party itself kind of take a lesson in everything of what's going on. And maybe, just maybe, I know I'm full of crap here, but maybe, just maybe, they'll vote a different way now. You know, maybe, just maybe. I don't really have a lot of hope for that. But,
no,
I mean...
Not when they're listening to CNN and crap like
CNN
that. You know,
and
Orange Man
MSNBC
bad,
and
you know.
Exactly. You know, so I mean, what do you think, Ray? What do you think he should do? You know,
I think he just needs to send them in and stop it before it gets way out of hand because it's happening now in a spot in Tennessee. There was a spot in North Carolina, as we talked off air about, that they tried to do it in North Carolina, and the cops were like, you're not doing it here, and they took away all their crap. Yeah. But the problem is, the longer you let it go, the more spots are going to pop up, the more bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
You got to nip it in the bud, as Barney Fife would say.
Right. Nip this in the bud.
Nip it in the bud.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I missed that show, man. It's actually on Netflix right now. It actually is.
His statue is going to be took down too for some reason, wherever he's held from.
His statue's going to be taken down?
They want his statue down too.
You know, and that's another thing, you know, and I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up because, holy cow, he's on crack. He just got off of his charger, Vector, just throwing a fit over here. He's not throwing a fit. He just got on crack. He just got all up off his charger and just was like, whoo, you know, if he had a tail right then, he would have been shaking the holy crap out of it.
Well, we started talking about the statues, and he's very adamant about it.
Right. I mean, he's kind of statuesque. Yeah. Right. You know. Yeah.
Right, Vector? See? Yeah. He just nodded.
he did too. Holy crap. Did you notice he changed his eye color again?
Yes.
They were, I don't even know what they were, but they're blue now. He changed his eye color again. He does that. The guy's on crack. He changes his eye color all the time. He's nuts. Anyway.
Like his father.
Yeah. No, I'm perfectly normal. So anyway, guys, but I'm glad you brought that up. And what was it you brought that up? Remind me.
Statues.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so you have, you know, Columbus statue being taken down. You got all these, you know, Confederate people, their their statues are being taken down. And it's like, okay, so AOC, yeah, okay, you're new to the whole game. So, okay, you can be all boo-hoo and upset, okay? Nancy Pelosi, she's being upset too. Joe Biden, he's upset about this. But it's like, dude, Nancy, I don't know exactly how long Nancy's been in, but her and Joe has been in for about the same amount of time. Joe's been in Congress been a public servant since 1972. That's before I was born. If this was such a problem, why is it just now coming to the forefront? Because this is something that Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden could have done, could have gotten rid of, removed those statues, put them in a museum somewhere, could have done that a long freaking time ago.
Right.
Why didn't they? Is it possibly because it's not an issue, actually? It's virtue signaling? They're just wanting to do stuff to do stuff? Could that be what it is?
No.
What do you think? Yeah. So, yeah, man, on one hand, absolutely. Did Trump go in there, take care of business, do what you got to do?
Right.
Send in the troops, squash it. Because if they want this, give it to them. Now, here's the thing, man, and this is in all honesty, okay? If troops go in, there's a very good likelihood somebody's going to die.
Right. They'll blame it on them.
I don't care who they blame it on. It's not Trump's fault. It's not the troops' fault. It's their fault for allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
I don't care who they want to put the blame on. Doesn't matter. But there's a good possibility that somebody's going to die. If that does go by way of the dodo bird, there's a very good chance somebody's going to die.
How dare you?
I can't help it. It's not my fault, They reap what they sow. This is kind of the act that they are asking for. They're asking, Dr. Phil. I don't even know if he's a doctor. Not Fresh Prince's dad. He wasn't a doctor. He was a lawyer.
You're talking about the Dr. Phil, the TV show guy, right?
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Dr. Phil.
He said one time that, if you tell your kid, don't cross that line, if you do, you're getting a whooping. And if that kid looks you straight in the eye and then step over that line, they're asking you to whoop him. You should never disappoint. I agree with him on that. Mm-hmm. This Republic of Chaz, they're asking to be smacked down. They're flipping turd. Get over there. They're asking to be smacked down. They're asking for people to just lay hands on them.
Suddenly.
Repeatedly and suddenly. That's right. That was funny too, because it was like, Family Feud. It was the celebrity Family Feud, and it was who's that guy that smokes a lot of weed?
Which one? Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. Yeah, thank you. One of his responses was, what would so-and-so do if she found a bunch of weed in his possession? And he was like, lay hands on him. And the judges, they needed clarification on what the heck laying hands on somebody meant in the hood. And it's like, it means you smack them down, that's laying hands on people, Matt says Chaz. What a horrible name. Just saying. Yeah. Apparently he's a rapper, I guess. I don't know. I've also heard reports that they're talking about changing it from Chaz to Chop. I have no idea. I don't even know if that's true. I just read it and I was like, why would Chaz Chop? I mean, what the heck's going on? I don't know. Maybe they're just talking about Chop and Chaz. I don't know. These are the things you question sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Chop is a state within the country of Chaz.
I guess that's possible. It could be. So, guys, all right. So we've covered that. We've talked about that. We talked about the state of Chaz. We talked a little bit about, and we talked about statues. Statues are awesome.
I got something to go along with statues. If we'll get your opinion on.
Okay, what you got going on with statues?
Kind of goes with statues. They want to bring down the statues, but now they're wanting to change the military base names. Yes,
and that's another one of those things. With 1972 is how long Biden's been in there. Why is this an issue now?
Right. Well, they had it on Facebook. Local news channel asked that question. Would you support it or whatever? And I go, well, if you're going to do it, then let's change the name to Fort Trump.
Exactly.
See how they like that.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. But same with statues. It's just trying to erase history does not change what has happened or will change what will happen.
You know, that's the thing. Okay, what was? Who's that president that's on the penny?
Lincoln.
Yeah, him. What did President Abraham Lincoln say at the conclusion of the Civil War? He did not want them to be punished. He wasn't going to try them for treason, none of that. He's like, now is not a time for that. Now's a time to allow healing. Regardless of anything, they had their reasons for doing what they did. I want to be clear on something too, because this is something that is not taught in the history books, okay? This is not taught in the history books. My daddy told me that the Civil War was not fought over slavery. It was more or less a banner that they flew in order to justify the fighting, but it didn't have anything to do with slavery, okay? It was fought over something else. And the unfortunate part is, you know, way too many people out there lazy, don't like to look up stuff for themselves. So I'll tell you what the Civil War was fought over. It was fought over states' rights. States' rights versus federal rights, or I'm sorry, states, you know, power. That's what it was fought over. It wasn't fought over slavery. It was fought over power. That's what it was fought over.
Right.
Okay? Because just so you guys know, slavery was on the way out the door anyway. Because all the northern states are like, look, you're not going to be held accountable for any of your crimes in the southern states, or you know, the you know, what the South wanted to call crimes. You're not going to be held accountable to these. It doesn't matter. Slavery was already on its way out the door. And the best thing that ever happened to the South was the abolition of slavery, because that's whenever you had, you know, innovation in farming, innovation in tooling, innovation in, you know, planting crops, innovation in, you know, reaping the crops, you know, and pulling them out of the field. You know, that's when you had real innovation. You didn't have innovation until the abolition of slavery.
Right.
Little history lesson for you. John Deere wouldn't exist today if slavery would have stayed in business. Truth. All right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about, you know, we're going to get into this whole, you know, the truth about white privilege. Because, guys, y'all need to know what it means to be white and privileged at it. Do you know? Do you know? I wonder.
We shall know.
We'll find out. Yeah. All right, couple minutes, guys. Be right back. Do you love your occasional Mexican dish or your musical fruit? Are you tired of walking by family members and crop dusting them? Well, if this has ever happened to you, might I introduce you to Tampons brand butt plugs. Tampons brand butt plugs is that particular type of butt plug that allows you to walk in public in confidence knowing that you're not going to accidentally crop dust somebody. Tampons brand butt plugs now with the plastic applicator.
Not just for women anymore.
Tampons brand butt plugs. Welcome back to the HoHO Show. That's right, guys. Tampons brand butt plugs. Pick yours up today.
Excuse you.
I know, right? Anyway, guys, we got... Oh, holy crap, I got the COVIDs, I got a cough, oh no. All right, anyway, guys. So we got some things to talk about. Now, as a prerequisite to this, I want you guys to go to, but not now, after the show. Okay, after the show, you guys can either head onto the HoHoShow.com, just click on the newsfeed tab, go into my magazine on Flipboard, my go-to hub, my one-stop shop for anything, everything, and all things news. Go there for the today's date, 6/14 of 2020. The first two things in there are a couple videos I want you guys to watch, okay? One of these videos is by the Hodge twins talking about Black Lives Matter. The other one is of a guy by the name of Joel Patrick. Never actually watched him before this, but it was something that y'all need to see, both of them. And each of them are about 7 minutes long. All right, they got some information in there, especially Joel Patrick's. You know, he's got some information in there y'all need to see. I'm knife handing you right now. Y'all need to see this, okay? I'm cereal. Fruity Pebbles. Definitely. The melting pot. All kinds of stuff. I would say Rice Krispies, but I got a thing against Rice Krispies right now because, you know...
Blueberry.
Well, you know, they tell you as a kid, you know, be careful what you eat, you know, because your body takes cues on what you're going to eat, you know. And, you know, as a kid, I ate a bunch of Rice Krispies, and now as an adult, my body thinks it's okay to sound like that whenever I get up and move, you know. Your body doing that too?
Oh, yeah, just did it earlier.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Yeah, it hurts.
You heard me earlier when I walked over there, that pop.
Pop. Yeah, right? You know, it's like, holy crap, you know, it's like, holy cow. Gavin put in here, the twins are good. Yes, they are. The Hodge twins are awesome. Okay, the Hodge twins are amazing. So definitely check out these two videos because right now we're going to slip into what this show is about, okay? The truth about white privilege, okay? Now, there's something that the Hodge twins laid out. I ain't going to play these videos on the show because they're going to copyright strike claim me quicker than whatever quick is. Quicker than quick.
Quicker than lightning.
Quick, yeah. White lightning. Whew. White lightning. I ain't got a George Jones voice. I ain't got that. I can't get that. No.
Maybe an Aerosmith voice, though.
Maybe. Yeah. Although, dude, I lost my voice one time. Lost my voice. I don't know where it went. It just ran off. It was gone. All right. And whenever my voice came back to me, it wasn't actually my voice. It was Tone Low's voice. And then what's that one guy that sings, I got fields of green, red ribbons too. When is dance summertime? What a wonderful. Yeah, his voice.
That.
Yeah, his voice came back to me. Yeah, I mean, it was in Tone Low, you know, Funky Cole Medina and whatever else I was singing at the time. It was great, you know.
Yeah.
It was funny, too, because I was working at a call center at the time. And I couldn't call in sick, you know, because I couldn't talk. I mean, like, my voice was gone, you know. So I was unable to, I had to show up, and I was like, I can't work today. I can't talk. Obviously, I was more or less mouthing this, you know, very exaggeratively because I couldn't talk. And the lady was like, what? And I'm like, I can't talk. I can't work today. She's like, what? I can't talk. I can't what? I'm like, give me a pen and paper. She's like, I heard you the first time. I'm like, I'm gonna be giving you. Anyway, that's what she did to me. It was not funny. It wasn't nice of her. But anyway, so we're talking about the Hodge twins and we're talking about Joel Patrick. Okay. Now, here's one of the things that the Hodge twins specifically was saying about this. Okay. And it's the difference culturally between black people when it comes to, you know, excessive violence from the cops and how black people react to violence from the cops. You see, black people act like how they acted with, you know, Michael Brown. It was a narrative that didn't have anything to do with facts. It was all about, you didn't have to shoot him. He was an unarmed black guy. Why are you killing him? Even though Darren Wilson had no choice, he did what he had to do. Now, before you go, that's ancient history. Well, that wasn't that long ago. And there were riots in the streets in Ferguson, Missouri. I'm still sure that they're still feeling the pain from that one. Okay? It was a narrative. Didn't have anything to do with a narrative. Let's bring it back up to modern times, okay? George Floyd. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We can talk about that. A lot of truth has been coming out about that these guys knew each other prior to that interaction, whenever that was.
Right.
They worked together in a nightclub, and they despised each other because George, not of the jungle, a different George. George was like, he did not like Derek because Derek was a little excessive with his force. So he had a history of this. Why wasn't it brought up before? I don't know. But it wasn't. They had a history. They despised each other. So there actually is a pretty good possibility that they might be able to pull off the murder 2 charge that he's got on him.
Right.
There is a good possibility. And I hope that they do. Will you chill out?
He's on crack today.
He is on crack today. Holy crap. Anyway.
Yeah, so the thing is, it could have been just a beef between the two, legitimately, not necessarily it
ain't got nothing to do with
racial
race.
And all that stuff.
Right.
They just don't like
It's
each
still
other.
police brutality.
Right.
But it didn't have nothing to do about race. So here's the thing. White people, you see, with Michael Brown, why'd you have to kill that unarmed black kid, yada, yada, blah, blah. What's white people's response to that? Bubba J, what did you do to the cops? Bubba J, stop that. We hold each other accountable. We hold each other to a higher standard. We don't just immediately start talking about narrative. We start looking at facts. We research what the heck happened. And most of the time we come to find out that the dude was being aggressive towards the cop and the cop did what the cop had to do.
Right.
We don't rise up. We don't have a bunch of, we don't say a bunch of Bravo Sierra about this. Not at all. I'm closing down some pages because there was a thing. Yeah, that's it. There was a thing I brought up last week, that y'all didn't really hear because the audio on this here platform was kind of junk. So I got a little thing I'm going to show you guys. Not a little thing. Well, it's kind of a little thing. But I got something I want to show you. All right. We're going to talk about this. All right. And I brought up last week, I brought the, the death rates of people that have been killed by cops. All right. Now, this is from data that was pulled from the website statistica.com, which they pulled information from Washington Post Journal or just Washington Post. They pulled stuff, they're pulling stats out of the FBI. And this is from people who was killed by guns from cops. All right. And it was broken down by race, not from race, because let's face it, nobody cares about what race the cop is that killed somebody. They just care about the person that was killed by the cop. That's all people cares about. So that's how this is broken down. Good. I hit the wrong button. All right, here you go. It's coming. It's coming. Will you hurry up? Oh, well, that's why I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
Glad you're not in charge of the nukes.
Right.
I'm sorry, India. I hit the wrong button. I was going to attack. Never mind.
So here's the totals, guys. All right, and I'm good. And this whole thing is broken down. All right. So 2017 to 2020. All right. On the screen, if y'all are watching, I have it broke down all kinds of things, and I got this information. Y'all can search it too. I searched it out. It was in there, statistica.com, that word that I hate saying because I can't say it for Jack.
Statistics?
Shut up. Anyway, it breaks down the totals of it and the grand totals of how many people between these years that have been killed by gun from cops. 3,412 was the absolute total of everybody. It breaks down to 40.93% of them were white. He just called you mom. I heard that.
Yes, he did.
And that was quiet right at the time he said that. Y'all can rewind and listen to that later. timestamp it for you. And 22.10% of those killed by cops by guns were black. He just called your mom again. Hispanics was 15.87%. Other was 3.89%. And unknown, which I don't know how they can be unknown, was 17.21%. Okay, let me point something out to you. Even if you take the unknown of the 17.21 people and slide those over to the black, that's still only 39.31%, which is still less than the percentage of who was killed by, or of the white that were killed. So yeah, more white people are killed by cops than black people are killed by cops, but we're not tripping. Why are we not tripping? Because most of the time, like probably a good 99% of the time, it's a justified killing. Because he screwed up. And we hold each other accountable for that.
Right.
See, that's what it means to be white privileged. We're held accountable for our actions. We can't blame anybody else but ourselves. It also means to be white privileged means that if we apply for a job that has a quota on race of whom's working there, we may get denied that job because they got a quota that they've got to live up to, and somebody else, regardless of how qualified I am, regardless of my merit, somebody else might get that position. It also means that if I'm looking to advance in a job that has a quota of race, that I might be passed up for that promotion because, well, because I'm white and I don't fit the quota. So they will promote somebody else over me, regardless of how qualified, how much I've worked my butt off, how much education I've got, and all kinds of different factors in there. I'm passed up. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. There's a lot of grants I can't get because I'm white. A lot of grants that I can't get. We don't have things like WET. We don't have a White History Month. We don't have the NAAWP. We don't have that. I would like to watch WET.
Wow.
That would be an awesome channel to watch. You know?
I bet it has the Dukes of Hazzard on it.
I bet it does. I bet it don't. Dumbing it down with Dave. Hello, sir, over there in YouTube land. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. But those are the different things that are happening now. Because here's the thing, man. And like, okay, with people kneeling down, it's like, dude, look, I didn't have a slave. I've got slaves in my heritage. You know, right. I'm German Jew. We were slaves a long time ago.
Like I'm part Irish, and I know there were Irish indentured servants and slaves back in the day.
They were treated horribly back in the day. Mm-hmm.
I think you do too. Native American blood in me, and
right.
Look what they did to my
gave them smallpox, marched them across the desert, one side back to the other side just to kill them off. Oh yeah, we were horrible to Indians. You know, the kind.
Right.
I'm going to hell.
Oh boy. Just for the record, I'm not offended by that. Even though I am part Native American, I am not offended by that.
Dude, I've got all kinds of friends with a buddy of mine. He was like, yeah, I'm part Indian. I'm like, which kind? I'm like, you are here or her? He was like, I'm the her. Okay. I'm so going to hell.
Wow. I'm still not offended.
I'm glad. Matt put in here, I bow to no man. There's not a whole heck of a lot going on, Dave. I haven't seen your two most recent episodes. I got to get in there and watch those. I do. But yeah, so that's the what's going on. You know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff, and it's to me, honestly, it's irritating because, you know, it's like, what am I apologizing for? You know, kind of, you know, what Matt was going on. What am I apologizing for?
Right. Can I add something on that?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. You know, you listed all these different things like NAACP or the version that you're talking about and different things like that.
Right.
if we want to, how can I put it, be one people, be one group, be one society, we got to quit with breaking it down by what you just do. What did you just do?
I popped my fingers like quite a few of them at the same time, and that flipping hurt.
Well, you talk about Rice Krispies. How's Rice Krispies feel now?
Not so good. Like,
While you're enjoying your pain, let me expound on that thought. We shouldn't be breaking down.
Shouldn't be breaking our fingers
breaking
either.
your fingers too. You say ow. We'll let you cry. But NAACP, Black History Month, or segregating different segments of society. If we really want to be together, if we really want to be one race, one people, we need to quit breaking things down into subgroups. I believe in equality. I believe in
Absolutely.
believe in all men are created equal. That's what the Constitution says.
That's what the Bible says.
That's what the Bible says.
The Holy Bible.
I'll treat you the same way as anybody else. I don't care what your persuasion is, what your color is, what your background is, if you're rich or if you're poor, none of that crap. I base things on how you treat me, how you treat other people. Everybody to me is equal as far as on that kind of footing. But we can't break society down into subgroups and expect to be one. It just won't work that way.
Right. And I completely agree with you on that. And that's the thing too, guys. I've not noticed any type of racism where I live. We don't have that here. Okay. I've never lived in the hood. I don't know how things are in the hood, but I do know that there are white and black people that both live in the hood, and I know that they're treated equally crappy because their lives kind of suck because of where they live.
Right.
What type of rules they got to abide by, how things are, the joblessness and everything else. It kind of equally sucks. It's not about race. It's about where you live and how much money you have and the type of education opportunities you have to be able to get out of there. That's kind of what it's about. I've never lived up on the Gold Coast. I've never lived in, I've never lived up in Beverly Hills. I've never lived in these gated communities. I don't have any idea what it means to be rich, privileged either.
Right.
But I do know that there's black people who lives up there. There's white people who live up there, and they're equally awesome because they got the money. I've never seen anybody that was mad, upset, and all kinds of horrible whenever they were on jet ski. Money may not buy happiness, but money buys jet skis, and jet skis are amazing. But it ain't about race. It's about opportunity. It's about how much money, living conditions, culture, where you're at, and whatnot. That's just what it amounts to. We've got black people here. We've got Indians here. We've got predominantly white. But we got Mexicans. We got everybody here. We even got some Smurfs in here because Blue Lives Matter too. We've got them all, and he just tried to kamikaze dive. We've got it all. But, I've not been raised in that type of atmosphere, environment like that. And I am very, very grateful for that. But I'm not going to say that racism in some of these places don't exist. Where we're at, we don't experience that, and I couldn't be happier.
Amen.
James Woods and Terry Crews. I'm sure y'all have heard of these two guys. Terry Crews, awesome man, dude. I tell you what, I like Terry Crews. I really do. He is just an awesome actor. The man is a down-to-earth individual that never has, with all the fame, all the movies that the guys have been in. He's been in the remake of The Whole Nine Yards. He's been in the Expendable movies. He's been quite a few different places, but he's never forgot where he came from, okay? He got attacked recently on Twitter because he dared to say something that they did not want him to say. This article is from Town Hall, a Twitter tweet thingy that he did. Defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth, like it or not. We're in this together. And I guess people were just up in arms because of what he said. And you know what? He's got a point, though. We all want equality. We all do. I want equality.
Right.
I'm sure you guys want equality. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on this show, viewing, watching, listening. We all want equality. We're all in agreement. We want equality. We want this crap to end totally. But apparently, Terry Crews is no longer black because he dared to go against the narrative that they've given him. He also said this: any black person who calls me a coon or an Uncle Tom for promoting equality is a black supremacist because they have determined who's black and who's not. Remember what Joe Biden said a week or two ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that whole, if you don't vote for me, Jack, you ain't really black. Coming from Joe Biden, somebody whom has helped with some of the laws that he has written, keeping black people imprisoned and enslaved, and he has the gall,
and he's
the
on
cojones.
He's on video too in the Senate chambers using the N-word several decades ago.
Oh, but we can't talk about that
No,
because he is the great orange hope.
right?
Like how I did that.
Yeah.
And since we're kind of talking about that too, because I talked earlier about Joel Patrick, okay? And one of them videos I want you guys to watch. Now, there was some information that Joel Patrick put in this video that you guys can go either to thehohoshow.com, check it out by checking out the newsfeed tab, click on today's episode, and it's like the second video in there. Or you guys can head on over to my Facebook page, and it's on there too, because I did share it to my page. It's a video that's on the HoHo Show page right there in Facey Land, and you guys can check out that book in the faces on the stuff, okay? Now, he throws some information out here, okay? One of the things that he mentions is, Black Lives Matter, and go to that website. So go to that website. Check out the What We Believe In. It's amazing because the footnote of Black Lives Mattering in there. It's like a footnote.
Right.
Barely even mentioned. Go ahead.
And what you said, many times, don't, and other people have too, don't take our word for what's being said here. Go do your own research. Look up things, what we're saying.
Yes.
Just don't take it as at face value of what he's saying or I'm saying or anybody else is saying. Do your research. You can find this information out for yourself.
That is why every single article that I talk about and I pull up is right there on my website. I use Blogger to put the stuff on there. I use Flipboard, which I can create a magazine for every single article that I use, and I have it right there on my website for you guys to check it out. Look for yourself and prove me wrong. That's exactly why I do that, because I want you to be educated. I totally want you to be educated. But he puts on there some stuff that's like, go to the website, check it out, and the things that's on there. Now, the Green New Deal is part of Black Lives Matter, one of the things that they're supporting. What does the Green New Deal have to do with Black Lives Mattering? Answer to that question is not a stinking thing. Nothing. But it's on there. The thing that I thought was most intriguing about this was with the whole donate. I forget the name of the like blue-ish or blue or black, whatever. I don't remember what it was, but the donate to it and where the money goes, okay? And you can look up this website, Freedom of Information. You can look up this website. You can click on that, where that money goes to. And over $1 billion has been spent to various people for their Democratic campaigns to become president. Over $1 billion. The top 10 on this list of people that Black Lives Matter has donated to is all white people. So all this money that has been donated to Black Lives Matter has been going to fund the campaigns of white Democrats.
And as he pointed out, why not take that money and help local black communities and do projects in these communities that can be beneficial to them instead of going to these white liberals?
And why are you donated to the Democratic Party? Because the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK. It is the party of Planned Parenthood that was a eugenics program to get rid of the undesirables, aka black people in the community, the poorer of the poor.
Right.
It is the party of segregation, the party of the white bathroom and the black bathroom, and get your black butt out of the chair for a white person to sit down and you go to the back. Rosa Parks, love that woman. Why are you giving money to a party that has done nothing for you in 50 plus years? Instead, why not do something different? Go to the Republican Party that is the party of the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves, knowing that separate but equal is not equal. The party of the NRA, which its whole entire function whenever it started was to arm black people so they can defend themselves against segregationists and against lynching and against all these things that was plaguing their communities then. Why? I can't answer that question. I really can't. But dude, I tell you what though, I'm a child of Martin Luther King Jr. Judge me not by the color of my skin, but by the quality of my character.
Right.
That last part's paraphrased because I don't remember the exact quote. Do you remember? I
not offhand, no, but it sums it up.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. It's pretty much what he said. James Woods, and this article's from the Daily Wire, he started tweeting officers who were killed in the line of duty, and Twitter locked his account, and they offer an alternative reason, but basically it's they offered no reason whatsoever. And it was funny because I had read about this like basically whenever it happened. I follow James Woods. I like James Woods. I would actually love to interview the man and ask him how much his career has suffered due to his political views. But he posted in here on June 7th, he goes, starting today, holy crap, I'm having issues. Evidently, I'm having issues. So he puts in here, this is a tweet, starting today, I will be listing police officers who died in the line of duty in 2020. Some will be deaths seemingly unrelated, cancer, death, and however may have resulted from assisting during the World Trade Center rescue and aftermath, for example. Okay. So he started posting these names in here, and, well, Twitter didn't like that, so they blocked him. Why? Because he was standing up against something that was politically bad. Yeah. And then he continued to put on here as an explanation, and this one was done on June 9th. He goes, Twitter offered no explanation for locking my account. I had started posting the names of all police officers who had died in the line of duty this year. I was somehow near going, rewind play. I was nowhere near going through the 97 names as of this date, and I am guessing it irked one of the lefties in charge. Yeah. So they blocked his account because he dared to think for himself. Shut down his account, said, nope, you can't do that because cops' lives don't matter right now.
Right.
Cheer about what the I got to be honest with you. I did not watch the video, but apparently there was a very passionate video that was done by LAPD, was it? Some of the cops that were standing up, it's like, dude, because guys, let's look at it this way. The governors have abandoned the cops.
Right.
And I mean, I know this was going around for quite a while that, the very passionate, guys just going off about this, and rightfully so. Okay. Because these cops, they're the ones that are out there enforcing the rules that, one, the governors tell them to enforce. How the governors tell them to enforce it, because it's the governors, these Democrat governors, who were in control of the police forces of these various cities. Just in case y'all have forgot that, Civics 101, you're welcome. And they're enforcing the laws that the legislative branch of these various states and counties and boards and everything else that they put in place. Just in case you guys didn't know, they don't write their own laws that they enforce. No, they enforce what the elected officials put in there. So just so you know, Civics Class 101, you're welcome.
So it's not Trump's fault?
Not even close. It's Nancy Pelosi's fault. It's Gravy Sweats Pritzker's fault. Gravy Train Pritzker. We got something else we're going to talk about. Because now we're going to get into these businesses, what they're saying, Walmarts, other places, peoples, and stuff.
Truckers.
Oh, yeah, truckers
and
too.
Truckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I is one.
You is one?
I is one. Just a couple minutes, guys. We'll be right back. We're going to continue this conversation.
Ooh,
Yeah. Do you work at any of the myriad of jobs where you might have to sit on your bum all day? Well, if so, maybe you know what it's like to suffer from the condition known as swamp ass. Well, if so, have I got the solution for you?
Anti-monkey butt powder.
That's right.
Anti-monkey butt powder.
You can use it indoors, outdoors, work or play, or on any occasion when you sit on your bum all day. Don't let your buns get red. Use anti-monkey butt powder instead. Available wherever anti-friction powder is sold. Welcome back to the HoHO Show. All right, so there are some various businesses that have even packed their bags and said they're not returning to these various cities where they have defunded the police and let all this stuff go unchecked. Okay.
Right.
One of them is a business out of, I'm pretty sure, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am attempting to find the article that I, had on here. Oh, yeah, there's that. Yeah, New York police union officials fume over de Blasio's public response to law enforcement, respect. So, yeah, that was New York, something I was talking about last segment.
Yeah. While you look for that,
let me know that.
did you see the GoFundMe page stop that one guy's donation account that his business got burnt down in Minneapolis? It got to like almost $1 million or something like that. So they shut it down.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually a good thing because people just poured in donations because his business burned down almost $1 million. And then GoFundMe was like, we got to cut it off somewhere, which I kind of understand, but
right.
it was a good sight to see to help that guy out.
So I found that article.
You got it?
I found
you
it.
Found
I found it. I did.
Go for it.
So, and this article is from Hot Air. That's one of the things I actually kind of like about Flipboard. It's they just bring in articles from all kinds of different places. I get places on here that it's like, I have no idea who these people are. I have no clue. So Hot Air, Minneapolis manufacturer. The city doesn't care about protecting us, so we're out of here. We are gone. And apparently, I'm actually trying to look, and if I remember correctly, this business was actually a smaller business, didn't really have a big footprint, but even still, they're not the only ones talking about this. Packing up and moving out of these various places, cities, where defunding the police is goings on. Okay, Minneapolis is one of them. There's a couple other ones. There's even, Matt puts in her Flipboard is amazing. Absolutely. This is even happening in my home state of Illinois. I got that wrong. JV. Can't say JB Pritzker, apparently. Jelly Bean Gravy Sweats, JB Pritzker, he's that guy's a joke anyway. But I guess Walmart is talking about leaving Chicago.
Oh, they're pretty set on it. And the mayor up there, Mayor Lightfoot, Beetlejuice, whatever you want to call her.
Beetlejuice.
She's basically begging these people not to leave.
Right.
It's like, honey, a little too late for this now. You should have been doing something beforehand.
Should have been doing your stinking job.
Yeah, not now. You're like, wow.
But they're not talking about just leaving Chicago. They're talking about leaving the entire state. So here's my question, okay? To these rioters, to these people that are doing this, to the cops that are abandoning them, to the governors and the mayors that have a hand in all this, nothing happening. What do you do whenever the businesses abandon you?
Raise taxes. It's what the governor wants to do. Not saying it's going to do any good, but
So, right.
His idea.
Why? Yeah. What you're because all the people with money, the money enough to do it, are going to leave. The businesses that have burned down, are they really going to rebuild if the next thing that happens, if the next George Floyd instance, if the next Rodney King happens, if the next Michael Brown happens, insert your name here, when the next one happens, and the city burns down again, who's to say the same thing ain't going to happen? The riots happen, the city burns down again. Are they really going to rebuild? How many times are these businesses going to rebuild? There's going to come a time, because insurance ain't going to cover them. They're going to have to be putting an additional rider on their insurance policies and say, you were protected against rioting.
Right.
How many times is this going to happen? How expensive is it going to be? Is it even going to be worth having a business there and trying to do business? Is the community you're going to have your business in, are you really going to be able to jack the prices up high enough to pay for these insurance premiums? Is it even going to be worth it to you? The answer to that question is no. It's not going to happen. That's just the fact of the matter, guys. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. These businesses are going to leave. And then you think you have it bad now that it's hard to get a job and to have a job and to rise up out of poverty. When there were jobs, try trying to do it, or I'm sorry, when there were businesses there, try doing it whenever all the businesses leave, because why would they stay? It's a business thing. How can they stay? Why would they stay?
All right.
I mean, dude,
But then on top of that too, your tax revenue. Let's just take Chicago for what we're talking about. Businesses go away, your tax base goes away. How are you going to pay for all your programs and fire departments, police departments, what's left of them, and your aldermen and fill in the blank? How are you going to pay for all these public services and works when your tax base just goes poof? It's gone.
Exactly. And yeah, go ahead, raise the taxes of everybody else. Guess what? They'll leave. That's what they're doing with California. That's what they're doing out in New York. They're leaving. Why? Because they don't have protection of the police. Because, the high taxes, because there's the thing, guys, too. The high taxes that you're paying, you expect a certain, this goes for your meal you just had earlier. You buy a product, you expect a certain level of taste, of quality, of service. You expect that. You expect a different type of amount of service when you go to McDonald's than if you go to the Olive Garden. You expect a certain different type of service, quality of food. That money means something.
Right.
And here in Illinois, California, we're paying a lot in taxes already anyway. We expect a certain amount of service, certain amount of protection from the cops, certain amount of whatever, You're just going to take away our service and you're going to keep jacking the prices up, the taxes up higher and higher. Higher and higher. Never mind. No. Anyway, the state will constantly look for a bailout from the federal government. I tell you what, man, if I was the federal government, Ray and I talked. Matt said that. We talked about this, off air. If I was the federal government, no. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for these riots. You're the ones who failed to do anything. You had the power to squash this from the word go. You didn't.
Right.
You could have sent in the cops. Instead of bailing on the cops, you guys could have supported the cops and say, we've seen that this happened, but you know what? This is what you guys wanted. I'm sorry about your luck. I don't even know why there is public unions in the first place. That's why it's so hard to get rid of a corrupt cop. These stinking unions in place that make it virtually impossible. That's why you got corrupt cops is just stay on the police force and there's nothing can be done about it because,
Yeah, it's a whole nother subject.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the governors could have sent in the National Guard, and they
didn't.
Exactly. Yeah. Matt put it in here. Brandon and I have talked about that as well, and I'm not surprised. That's just everything. The whole thing's connected. It's all connected. It's all connected.
Yeah. New World Order.
Yeah.
Orange Man bad. Bring down the economy.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how all of these, the cities that are the worst off, the states that are the worst off, isn't it amazing? All across the board, the COVIDs, the riots, they've all been in Democrat-controlled states, Democrat-controlled cities,
You think more people get the idea by now, but they don't.
Yeah.
All they keep hearing is Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad. Yeah. All right.
What about them truckers?
Yeah, truckers. Well, let's first go to, Walmart. They're talking about the same thing, getting, not staying in places where they're not going to have the protection of the police. You're going to have people leaving too. You know, they're not going to get their money. They're not going to make it up. And like what Matt said, you know, it's going to be about a bailout from the federal government. And there ain't no way in hell I'd recommend doing that. No, you made your bed, now sleep in it. You know, and truckers are even talking about the same thing. There's a lot of different companies, and this has been going on actually. When the onset first happened. Okay, this has been talked about. You know, a lot going on recently, and you woohoo truckers, wow. You know, I'm telling you, it's been kind of crappy out there for us. That wasn't bad.
And for the record, you are a trucker.
I feel better. Yeah, I was a trucker. Trucker for 10 years. 12 years. 12 years. Yeah. But different trucking companies even, you know, they've been talking about not delivering to places where they are defunding the police. I'm going to tell you something. We have a max weight capacity of 80,000 pounds. That's a lot of weight. It takes 2 football fields for one of us to stop going 55, 60 mile an hour. We have to have 9 seconds of following distance behind the four-wheeler in front of us to keep from making them a hood ornament if they slam on their brakes immediately. That's just fact of driving truck. We know that whenever we get behind the wheel of that semi, if we screw up, we're killing somebody. You know, there's 2 specialized driver's licenses out there. And both of them, there's a camaraderie between those who operate. Motorcycles, of which case I have a Class AM driver's license. I can only drive in the morning. AM. Yeah. Class A CDL, Class M driver's license. Because as a motorcycle rider, you're putting, you know, somebody screws up, you screw up, it's more likely you that dies.
Right.
And a semi is a little different because it's more likely that we're going to kill somebody else. So, you know, kind of sucks. There's a lot we got to pay attention to. And whenever you got some of the stuff that has happened with, you know, protesters dragging out, beaten, nobody wants any of that, you know.
Seen that one trucker got bullets just a couple days ago through his cab or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dave put in here, true. Yeah, he's a truck driver as well. He knows what it's like out there. You know, and I feel for you, Dave, because, you know, where you're driving, you had mentioned something about, I remember seeing a post that you did on Twitter a few days back. It might have been a couple days back. I don't remember now. Kids throwing bricks or rocks or something at your truck, you know, just not necessarily anything related to protest that was going on, but it's like, holy crap, you know. And I remember whenever like these protests first started happening, you know, I told my boss, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to become a statistic. You know, what's company policy on that? Am I on my own, or is the company going to back me? And it was funny because it was like, you know, he asked the boss, you know, he asked his boss, you know, driver manager boss, and he's like, I don't know, I'll look into that. And, you know, I basically told him, I'm like, I'm not asking permission to run somebody over. I'm giving you advanced warning that if I get put in that situation, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to become a statistic. If they don't get out of my way, they're putting their own life in their own hands. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't want that.
Right.
That thing would not cooperate at all. I don't want that. That's the point, guys. I don't want that. And none of us out there do. You know, oh, they threw rocks at him last night. Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Let me ask you a question on that. Just your guys alone, your company. Mm-hmm. Have you had
mine or his?
Yours?
Okay,
let's do yours. Have you had any incidences as far as your routes or your guys' routes, or have anything funky going on?
Actually, no. I mean, we haven't been. I mean, we go to a lot of cities, we really do, but we're primarily on the outskirts of most of them. So that's not really, we haven't really been having any issues. I mean, we did have somebody have to reroute themselves because of, the shutting down of I-80, 90, whatever that interstate was, between basically around, Gary, Indiana, whatnot,
Right.
Had some of that going on. Matt put in here, he goes, the amount of people I see pull out in front of semis where I work is out freaking standing. Yeah. A lot of that happens too. It's amazing, But yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate. I mean, I haven't had any issues. I haven't heard of any of the other drivers with my company having any issues. He says it was Dave said that it was kids on the corner hanging out. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't protest related what happened with Dave, but I mean, even still, whenever activity like that is okay, it's not squashed. They don't tell you no, don't do that. You're giving the kids examples that it's okay to act out and to do that, and it's perfectly fine.
Right.
So, and that's actually something that happens periodically all the time. I mean, there's always cases of, people throwing stuff off of overpasses and different things like that. I mean, that's kind of why in a lot of cities, they're fenced up. If there's like a walkway next to it, it's fenced up and blocked off to where people can't do that or jump, either way.
Right.
One or the other. They're trying to prevent from happening. But I mean, yeah, but there's a lot of companies out there that are like, no, we're not going to go to these different places to, where these riots are happening. We're not going to do that because, yeah, we're not going to put our drivers in those situations. And I'm glad that they're doing that, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of craziness out there. That's for darn sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of craziness.
What's that call-in number again? I can't see it from here.
It is 217-965-6133. That is 217-965-6133. If you guys have any, anything you want to talk about on the the stuff, feel free to call in. Dave put in here, he goes, no issues here otherwise. And that's good, Dave. And I really haven't had, anything that I've run into at all myself. I mean, like I said, I've been extremely fortunate out there. I know there's stuff going on, but I haven't had any issues myself either. Some of, been going to New York, Pennsylvania. A couple of weeks ago, I went around Baltimore, Maryland, and DC, and none issues. So I was, wiping the sweat on my brow on that one. I tell you what, man, the past couple of weeks has been the only time I have actually had my doors locked going down the interstate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you just started those new routes here pretty recently, haven't you?
Yeah. I used to go up into Canada all the time, and just 3 or 4 weeks ago, I started doing the New York route right before all this crap happens. Overjoyed.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, why did I volunteer for this crap? Because I did. I volunteered for this. Because I actually like the New York route. It's a gorgeous route. It really is. The countryside.
Upstate New York? Or mostly upstate New York, or close to New York City?
All the above.
Yeah. Because I've been upstate New York. I've been to Rochester, Jamestown.
Oh, yeah.
Salamanca. Very beautiful country, especially in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different than I get from what I've heard New York City is. I mean, just night and day. So, yeah, it's a good place to visit if you want to go on a vacation and like that type of scenery.
Well, like what you said, upstate New York, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. A lot of the places that I go to around New York, I mean, it's in New York State. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And people are friendly up there, which you wouldn't think because you associate with New York City.
Not around the city, but,
right.
Yeah. And Dave, he's from, his, with dumbing it down with Dave and with Dave's Fit Life, he's got, gorgeous area where he lives at too. It's gorgeous in New York State. I absolutely love New York State. Love Pennsylvania, just great areas. It's gorgeous up there. Even now, this time of the years. It's good stuff. Well, guys, that's really all I've got for you. There's a couple more things in here, talking about the Kente cloths, that the stupid Democrats have been doing, pandering to the Black Lives Matter and whatnot, having absolutely no idea what them stinking claws represent, what they're for, and anything else, getting smacked down from people of Africa that actually do know what those claws represent. I find that absolutely hilarious. Yeah.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. Got a couple random things when you're ready.
Okay, go for it.
As we talked about before, our friend Alex XM, we were on XM. We were on the show in chat the other week or a couple weeks ago, and yours truly won a free T-shirt.
Yay!
Not this T-shirt, but it's at home in the laundry. And so when I get it washed, I probably
wait a second. You mean to tell me that you got a shirt for Mr. Alex Exum?
Yes, sir, I did.
And you're not wearing it?
Well, the laundry didn't get done. So, yeah, it was a white shirt and didn't do whites that day. So yeah, so it'll come up. But I want to thank him for that shirt because I did win it. And it was a good show that he had the other night. Very lively. So tune in to him when you get a chance, especially on Spreaker. Is he just on Spreaker right now, or is he on something else?
Well, he might be on something. We don't know.
I mean, radio-wise.
You know. Well, he does. He's on the Fringe FM. He's on. Oh crap! What's that other one?
Live Talk.
Yeah, Spreaker. Live Talk. Yeah, it's yeah.
So I'll be wearing it here pretty shortly. Hopefully by next week I'll have the shirt on.
Cool. And definitely you got, Dave Canyon out there. He's got Dave's Fit Life, which is on YouTube. He's got Dumbing It Down with Dave available on Spreaker. And, just his hosting platform is Spreaker, but he is, he's everywhere podcast can be found. Awesome show.
And our sister stations, the Machine Radio Show.
Right, yeah.
The Green
Dragons Inn, Machine Radio Show.
What's your website?
www.thehohoshow.com.
What's Weaponized Sloth Productions and Stink Pickle, right?
Oh yeah, stinkpickle.com.
Can't forget about
stinkpickle.com.
Stink Pickle. You came up with that one, didn't you?
Yeah, that's one of the things I call it that, Stink Pickle, and I'm like, that'd make for an amazing URL. So I searched it out, spelling it correctly, and it's like, holy crap, somebody else bought it. And I'm like, And it was like, you can buy it for this amount of money. I'm like, I'm not going to buy it for that amount of money. So I'm like, you know what? I can just misspell it, That's my prerogative. It's my prerogative anyway. So I'm like, yeah, I'll misspell it. So I did. And I also have another amazing website that I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet, but that's torchedanus.com.
Oh, God.
An amazing website. I'm going to do something with it sometime. I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but
wow.
I'm like kind of I got quite a few different websites. Well, URLs that I've bought. Not really websites, but I've got let me just give you a little something. So I've got theweaponized.com, I got themachine-show.com, stinkpickle.com, WSPFM.com, WSPFMlive.com, yeah. WeaponizedSlothProductions.com, thehohoshow.com, torchedanus.com. So yeah, I got several.
Wow.
Yeah. Dave goes, I appreciate the shout out. Well, you are more than welcome, sir. You are more than welcome. Awesome show, dude. I mean, that's one of them things because Davey's a good guy. He really is. He's one of them people that, he likes to help people, advice, whatever. He's got a good heart. He'd never tell you that, but he does. He's got a good heart. He's a good guy.
There is one other subject on the ending notes.
Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping he was going to forget about this.
We got to talk about that. It's about gun control. It's gun control. Besides the gun control, they're taking the flag away from the General Lee, which is bad enough.
Right.
And they're taking it off different platforms that air it. But now they're taking the Warner Brothers characters, everybody that has a gun.
They've disarmed Elmer Fudd. They've disarmed Yosemite Sam. They have canceled Cops, the TV show, after 31, 32 years of being on air, they've canceled something else. They've canceled the Cops cartoon thing that Disney had. You know, they canceled that.
But when they took Elmer's gun away, I mean, that just drew the line right there. That's just what can you say about that? I mean,
Elmer's got a gun.
Whole world's come on.
Yosemite Sam is on the run. What are you gonna do? They took away his pew pew pew.
Yeah, this is what we do before the show. Come up with weird ass ideas and stuff like this. You know, so yeah.
So get ready for one night sometime. I'm going to be getting the a condensed version of karaoke of that thing, and we're just there's just going to be it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just so y'all know.
Oh yeah. Good times.
Right. Matt put in here, and dude, yeah, excellent point. He goes, they did not disarm the illegal alien in Looney Tunes, though, Marvin the Martian. They didn't take away his airspace modulator. They didn't take that away. Oh no. But we got to get rid of Elmer Fudd's gun, and we got to get rid of Yosemite Sam because they're bad examples. Airspace modulator that blows up the whole Earth, instead of a gun that'll just put a black mark and relocate Daffy Duck's
Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck's Bill, Marvin the Martian. Yep, that's right, man. That's right. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me about that. Stick an airspace modulator. It goes pew pew pew. Anyway, oh my God.
Woo. Yeah, I'm glad I brought this up.
Right. Hello, April over there in Facebook land. She says I'm late. Yeah, she just got done. She just missed the whole airspace modulator. Pew pew pew. Hold up! Wait a minute. It's a 22.
What a way to walk in on the show, though. Walk into that.
Oh dear Lord Jesus.
Well,
Jesus is a fire.
Since we're on the subject, too bad we couldn't end the show with Porky Pig going. But that's all, folks.
Right. April says I had a few too many drinks tonight. Well, that's okay.
We act like we've had a few too many.
Right? Yeah, sometimes you just gotta loosen up. Take the pressure off. You know what I'm saying? Holy crap, guys!
Do you have anything else? That's all I had.
That's all I got. That's it. Wow.
Still working on the Constitution.
Yeah. I got it sitting right there. It's next to me.
Right there.
Yeah. I keep it with me most all the time. So that's a good thing. All right, guys. You know what? We're going to take off. We're going to go bye-bye. Yes.
That's all, folks.
That's right. That's all, folks. Never mind. We're going to get copyright strike when we keep this up. All right, guys. Y'all just have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night. Sleep tight, and if the bed bugs bite, well, by golly, bite them back. This has been The HoHo Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpikle.com. Until next time.